Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. So I've been sort of asked a couple of times, I've been sort of asked a couple of times to do a match with myself, a competition. So I entered a local match, local competition match. to try and get some footage, and I ended up losing in the finals. But that's okay. You know, my opponent over here, Professor Bruno, he's very, very good. He's been training about a year longer than me. I believe he trains in Trinity Jiu-Jitsu. Not Trinity. Yes, it might be Trinity. Jiu-Jitsu on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. And it is just one of those ones where sometimes you just find hidden monsters. So it was a good thing for me that he weren't fighting in nationals last year, I suppose. Anyway, he was very, very good. So let's get into it. So obviously, you know, there's Bruno, there's me. Truthfully, I weren't feeling very good that day. But that's neither here nor there, because just a bit of nerves, because for me, is one of those ones where I'm supposed to be really, really good, and so when you go into local competitions and you come up against these dudes that don't care, and they just end up being fucking monsters, and they just don't care about competing. They're only jumping in because their students are jumping in. And you're like, all right then, okay. So just saying thank you to the refs. I had a feeling that because if you look at our sizing, like the height difference and how big we are, he's in the 100 less kilo division, so he's like 200 pound under, and I'm 240 pound, like 200 kilo, 115 kilos thereabouts. So I had a feeling like you're going to pull guard, and so we're grip fighting and all the rest of it, and you can see how he's quite aggressive. He was this aggressive before the match because I was trying to do this thing where, if you look at my face back here, I would try not to show that I was nervous, and so he was very aggressive in the match, which is quite good for him, because you can look at his posture, like this posture here from Bruno was really, really good, and truthfully mine's not that great, but you have to try and match your opponent's height, otherwise they can shoot, and I've never fought him before, so I had no idea what to expect. I kind of had a feeling like you were going to be pulling guard, and I was right about this. And so he's quite aggressive, and I was trying to keep in mind my own lessons, where I was keeping space and distance and not just letting him have grips for free. But he gets one really nicely, and then he pulls guard. So as I said, I had a feeling like he was going to pull guard, so what I did is I pushed him down to the ground there, and I was trying to posture as he was going. Now, I've watched this video already, and truthfully, it's kind of it's painful watching myself lose. I should be keeping this grip. That's the grip that I should be keeping the whole time. This posture of mine is good. I shouldn't really be looking at him. I should be having my head up and using my eyes to look down, because look at this posture. It's not very good. But the knee in was good, and the squatting down was pretty good. And so this is like pulling Bruno off the floor, which means that it's going to be quite difficult for him to sweep me. And he gets this fucking grip. Was so annoying to deal with this entire match. And so what it forces me to do is it forces me into a deep squat if I don't want to start getting lifted. And in reality, I should probably at this point be letting go and readjusting back down to his hip so that I can still maintain that control. But he's got this beautiful sleeve grip on the other side at the moment. And the entire time he was in the match, he was pulling quite hard with his hands, because he wants me to come forward so that he can lift me, and you'll see him sweep me a couple of times like this in a second. And you see how he was trying to push my foot out, right? And so he was trying to extend my hand forwards, push my foot out, and sweep me over the top. It's a very classic sweep, very good. But I've been, since my match at Nationals against Professor Bruno, who actually just came third at Worlds again, who swept me like it was nothing, I've been sitting on the exercise ball a lot, and this exact type of position is where Professor Bruno absolutely messed me up. So what I was doing, as you can see, as I was grabbing onto his pant legs, the idea being is that if he were pulling forwards with his hand, he would start weakening his own leg going forwards. And so what I should be doing at the moment is I should actually be standing up just a little bit more. But you can see Bruno here, Professor Bruno, is so good at his wriggles. You see how he's distance managing? Watch that again. Like, I'm trying to gain space, I'm trying to come in close to him, but he's so good at just moving away from me the whole time, and it's truthfully very frustrating, and it forced me to this really annoying squat position, which was just burning gas. And now he was moving away as he was going around the side. The idea being is that he wanted this foot hook under my hip for like a deep della Riva. And so the entire time I was trying to flare my left knee out to stop this. And so, like, my posture's all right here, but I can see already that I'm a bit too far forward. Like, I'm coming up out of my base as I'm going forwards rather than coming, like, tall with my head and tall with my bum, which would probably be the better way to go. But you can see how he starts to lift me, right? And then from here, I don't know what my decision making was. I went heavy into my hands without... And like I stopped pushing back into him, right? So from this position, like I had the opportunity to smash past, but I was a bit nervous, I think, probably. So I didn't take the opportunity to push with my hands, getting my hip down and like slicing this knee in, which was probably like a best opportunity to win because I still have hold of his collar. So if I'd kept hold of his collar and just like pulled myself down and smashed this knee in, I actually probably would have won the match, because from this position, he's quite, you can see his hips are all the way out here and he's trying to sweep me up and over the top. It's a heavy way to go, so I should have just put a lot of effort into smashing down, right? But I didn't, and I just let him lift me with this beautiful, beautiful X-guard hook, and you can see how I let go, and now he's like, I'm trying to sit there, but then I take weight out of my legs and we get to this real awkward position for me, and I'm hopping. It was about this time I remember thinking like, oh man, I really don't want to be in this match. And so like I was kind of probably already beaten before I even continued. But this was real awkward because I was trying to pull the foot back and he just weren't letting it happen. So I was trying to maintain control, trying to maintain my balance, and you can see me trying to get the foot free, but it weren't happening. So I put the hook in. The idea maybe I was gonna like hop in close, sit down, and then go for it. But he steps back and gets me on the floor really nicely. And that's the first takedown sweep. So we stop, we reset, we go from here. Yep. I get my pant grip as well. So we reset in the same position. I have the pant grip because that's the best grip to go for. As I say, reinforce and sticky hooks, all the rest of it. And he just did this beautiful job with his posturing. Like you can see how he weren't afraid to make progress, but I managed to get the butterfly hook in, which is my very favorite thing to do. And as he's going backwards, you can see I get the underhook, which is the idea here. So I've got an underhook on his arm, going for his belt, an underhook on his leg, a butterfly hook, and a half guard. So I should be winning in this position, really. And for some reason, I take my hand out. I don't know why I took my hand out here, which allows him this beautiful hopping technique where he mitigates the butterfly hook, mitigates the half guard by me allowing him to lift and travel sideways so that he ends up in like a knee cut pass on the other side, right? And I go for his belt. I don't know why I was starting to take it out, but he just moves and starts looking to pass to the other side. So it was a beautiful technique, beautiful movement by my opponent, And then he's doing this really, really gorgeous thing where he's like actually quite flattened and kind of baiting me to try and get up and into him because of this underhook. He's going to win that, and you can see his knee positioning is still on this side. So if I tried, I'd actually end up opening up the space, and he would end up taking mount or taking a side control. So he's got beautiful positioning here, and you can't really see it in this particular angle, but his head was driving into my chin and like pulling me off center and all the rest of it. So a very difficult place to be. Oh, yep, there you go. You can see he's getting his head on my chin. He's making a lot of progress. He's starting to look to advance the position, advance it to mount. I go for a quarter guard. I can't remember what the sweep is called, but it's basically when you're in a quarter guard last-ditch effort, you grab the belt and the knee, and then you do like a pendulum swing to the other side. Now, his knee is meant to be down, but he committed to staying on that side instead of going with it, so he hurt his knee a little bit, and I felt really quite bad about it. And like you can see me, he grunted in the match, and you can see me like, oh fuck, sorry dude, are you all right? You know, because I'm not here to hurt anyone, and I'm not about trying to hurt people. But I shouldn't have actually stopped to check. I should have. That was an opportunity to win again. I should have kept pushing for it, but again, it's a local comp. You're not there to hurt anyone. You're not there to hurt anyone in general. And like, this guy has to work tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow. We all should be friends, you know. And so like, I accidentally hurt his knee, and what I should have done here is immediately pummeled his leg across and just passed around the outside. But I think on the day I was just like, oh fuck, he's better than me. Oh man, I'm not that good at jiu-jitsu. Oh man, this is hard. Oh man, I'm tired. And I just didn't commit like I should have, when in reality, I should have just committed, because you lose anyway if you don't. And so he shuts down that space really nicely by drawing the knee out, and then the opportunity's gone. Now there's still opportunity here, because I can grab hold of his belt and I've got control of that priority knee. And so all I have to do is donkey kick that leg out and then pass around this side. Now that's a hard grind, and he's getting past rather than playing guard now. But as I'm saying sorry, the cheeky fucker grabs hold of the sleeve grip and controls that fight. And now all of a sudden it's very hard, and his guard is really, really good. You know, it was very hard for me. Gets that De La Riva hook in again, and then I've fucked it up pretty badly, because you can see my posture's coming forwards. There's barely any weight in that back foot. I'm carrying all of my weight through my front thigh. He's got my hand. I'm off balance. I'm tipping. You know, it's not very good. And I get to this position because my hips are so flexible that I'm starting to drop that knee to the ground. He recognizes this and tries to keep the knee up, but he has to let go of my hand. So it allows me a post and a base, and I'm trying to pull myself in and forwards to flatten and go heavy. But because of my hip flexibility, I'm allowed to pull in. And at this point in the match, I was kind of really quite tired already, even though it's only 3.5 minutes in. But like, I get to this position where I step into what I felt at the time was a winning position, because he's now got a butterfly hook, but I've got this knee on the floor and I'm being heavy. And so I was reaching for his hip when the ref calls stop. And I'm thinking, wait, why? We're ages away from the edge of the mats. We're ages away. And I'm like, oh, you bastard, I've just made progress, and you're stopping me. So we reset in the middle. And then I try and put my foot on the knee on the floor where it was. And then the ref says, no, it wasn't there. And so I have to reset back into the guard rather than into the pass. And then I get lifted because I kind of fuck up with my balance. And truthfully, I don't get rolls like this unless it's in comp, because I'm the only black belt in my gym. And so like, trying to figure out this puzzle as we go is really hard. And I quite enjoyed it actually at the time, even though I was kind of dying. I quite enjoyed trying to figure out the puzzle, which is also why I'm doing this video, because it makes me better, you know. So I squat because I'm getting lifted, and I should be doing way more with this hand. I should just be trusting that he won't be able to lift me because of like the deadlift and heave. So this foot shouldn't be going backwards. It should be on the floor, and I should be using my hand on his pant leg to push it in, you know. But he gets hold of the sleeve again. You know, like, it's a bit backwards and forwards. I'm trying to go for a leg drag from this position, and I don't quite manage to get it before he strips the grip and kicks. So he's done a very good job of recognizing the situation and just defending it, you know, the whole time. and like I'm having to squat again, and like I'm very off balance, and I'm kind of really overreacting, to be honest with you, where you can see how like low my bum is, and then it comes tall, and it goes low, then it comes tall, and it goes low, then it comes tall, and that's a massive amount of movement that I didn't really need. And so like I'm allowing, like I allowed way too much space for his leg to go back on the inside, and truthfully, this size of person is like the most infuriating to play against, because they're strong enough to lift you, but they're small enough to find space that you leave if you're my size. But that's not really an excuse for not being very good. And so he gets this beautiful lassale in, but because it now allows my other leg to be free, he's not going to accomplish much with it. He doesn't accomplish much with it because my right leg can go free. And then I settle in the base, and you see how I'm starting to strip the other leg down. And so he just takes it out. And now the idea is triangles, you see, but I'm aware of this. And so I'm starting to go backwards, like away from him. So it goes back into De La Riva. Once that hook, I make a mistake by not stripping grips. I should be working all the time to strip that grip rather than just allowing it to sit, because it allows this progress. As soon as this progress happens, the other hook goes in, and then all of a sudden I've got my legs entangled, both my arms are corked, and I'm about to get swept again. And like I didn't fight it as much as I could, because I'm quite tired from doing a squat for 5 minutes straight, you know. So I get this leg entanglement where he tried to pass and his leg is through mine. I'm just not having a great time right now. I'm gassing. He tries to take my back, but leaves his foot exposed on the other side. So I'm attacking a toe hold right now on the other side. And he does this gorgeous job of defending that. Where this knee is quite tight at the moment. And so instead of hunting for my back in a futile effort, what he does is he recognizes the position and shifts his hips through and pulls this knee out. Like you can see. Yeah. He pulls that knee out. And now I'm starting to roll to attack the toe hold, but because this knee is free, it now gives him a chance to roll with me. And so he can roll with me, we start rolling, and you can see how I'm just attacking that toe the whole time. We roll off the mats, the ref calls stop. And that was about all the juice I had left for the day. You know, like it was a hard match. It was a hard match. He's very, very good, and I don't want to, you know, be that stereotypical black belt that goes, oh, I could have done this, I was feeling this way, that way, and the other. The reality is he was just better than me on the day. And it's actual pain for me to admit that, because I'm competitive as all fuck, but he was just better than me on the day. And so at this point here, I started to suspect something was wrong, because I couldn't see out of my left eye. So I thought, oh fuck, this is going to be rough. And then he jumps, and I kind of like accidentally slammed him because I couldn't hold his weight up. Because I was like I can't fucking see what's going on. Where is he? You know. So we get into this position again, and I recognized that he was heaving and he was also struggling. So I thought, well, maybe he's also not having a grand time. Maybe I can push through this, but the fitness just wasn't there for me. The fitness just wasn't there. He attacks this omoplata set up, and I defend it quite nicely by dropping the knee in and starting to free the elbow. So he has to respect this, because otherwise, if he keeps on trying it to the top, he'll get passed around the side, you know. So yeah, now that was a big mistake by me. So it was a pretty big mistake by me, where like you see me defend, and then my posture is my posture is so far forwards here. See how far over the top, and his hips are here, my hips are here. There's not that much distance between them in terms of how far over the top of him I am. And so he has this beautiful pant grip again that was so tight because he was pulling it. And it was very hard for me. I should be letting go, standing up, controlling this knee, and then doing like a deadlift to break grips. But he was controlling my posture so nicely with this particular grip set. And so I try, because I recognize I was over the top, and I'm trying very hard to not get swept, but he was off balancing me so much that I had to react in this way where I'm crossing my feet. But this is because I fucked it up and had bad posture to begin with, you know. And so I finally get to this position where like the knee's going on the inside, and I'm starting the smash pass. I don't actually remember what went wrong for me. Like, he got his knee free, yeah. So he did this beautiful thing where, like, I finally made progress by stepping that foot down. And this is when I knew he was tired. And then, like, I should have kept control of this knee. I should have used my hand to jam the knee in so that I could just sit into like a half guard over the top. But instead I went for a smash pass, and as I was going, he pulled his knee to his chest, which shut it all down. And then I couldn't make progress. And really, like, maybe if I had more gas tank, I could have gone again, where I had to grab and then jam that leg in because it's still in between my feet, sorry. And so what I should be doing is standing up again and pulling that leg in. But you can only do what you can do on the day, can you? You know, to be fair to me, you can only do what you can do. And so he's doing this great job. He's trying to get a triangle lock now. You can see how I'm in danger. I'm aware of it, and like trying to smash in again, he pushes me away. I should be straight away hunting, like I'm starting to now. Straight away hunting. But he ends up sweeping me again. Or I think I maybe am so tired I just give up the sweep because I'm like, oh no, hang on, I saw a knee bar. So he goes underneath me, and I see this opportunity for a knee bar, so I try and sit over the top for it, but I didn't cross my feet. And I think maybe at the time I was thinking, oh, that's maybe the knee that he said was sore, so I don't want to like slap it on because I'm quite big. But yeah, you know, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but I'm not there to hurt anyone. He turns his foot really nicely, and then this is when I mentally gave up. I was like, fuck, you know. So he gets up. He's won this match. I may as well tap out now because that was everything I had left. So he gets up. He does this beautiful job of pushing my feet down, and I'm just flailing now. You can see I'm just flailing, and he steps over the top. Like I'm not even doing anything to defend this. I'm that tired. He just takes mount straight away, and it was at this moment in time where I couldn't breathe. And I fall into the trap that I say all the time not to do for these top level guys, where instead of little movements, I do like a couple of big movements out of desperation. And it kind of works, but what the fuck is this? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's that? This is all right. He covered my face with his gi, so I was like, don't mat tap. And I did a big heave just so I could take a breath of air. And then I didn't have enough juice to keep shrimping. You know, I didn't have enough juice to keep shrimping. And so, like, I didn't want to mat tap, and I kind of just let him attack the neck until it was on, and then tapped out. You know, so he beat me when I failed that knee bar, basically, and I gave up mentally then. And so, you know, my opponent was very, very good, and it was very, very hard to stop him from beating me, basically. And I kind of wasn't expecting him to be that good, but I guess that shows me for being arrogant. So this was a good lesson in humility. Very well done to my opponent. He's very, very good. And I look forward to rematching him, maybe when I'm feeling a little bit more fresh or have done a little bit more training for the actual comp itself rather than just jumping in to have a bit of fun. Actually, no, I won't say that. I was trying to train for it, but you know, obviously I just didn't do enough. He trained harder than me. He did better than me on the day, and there's no way around it. You know, he was just better than me on the day. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit of a short one. Like, I've had a couple of questions to see my competition matches. Truthfully, I wanted to avoid it because it felt narcissistic, but also because I lost this one, it was good for me to do it because it helps me learn. And I also want to get better, and I'm still learning, so that's okay. And big shout out to my opponent, Professor Bruno. He's really, really good. I believe that he's on Instagram at, what does that piece say at the back? I can't remember. I'll try and put it in the link in the description down below if you wanted to check out his Instagram. And yeah, there was lots to learn for me from this one. Chief among them is don't compete with a migraine. But that's neither in nor there. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. Peace.